This project has changed the lives of so many people. Generational wealth. I've had the pleasure of coming across women in the Eastern Cape who have really made me believe at my core that we are absolutely who we are waiting for. The change that we're looking for, we are the people that create that.
My name is njeNgenyanga. I'm from Hamburg. But today, the way I am so excited, I don't know if I'm gonna finish speaking. My husband was a mine worker. He came back with bare hands from the mines, lost of hearing, loss of his eyesight. His hands were not complete with bare hands. So I was suffering a lot before I joined the project. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a thug. I'm not a para. I'm not a thief. But I was a poacher before I joined the project. That's why I'm not scared to say that I was a poacher, because the sea belongs to everybody. And God put food in the sea so that we don't die, we eat something. So I was poaching to feed my kids because my husband was no longer going to work. And I came to the project just to sew with the machine, putting my machine on my head. But I ended up doing the drawings. I never know that I'm an artist up until Mama Hofmeyer tells me with her eyes, she noticed that I am an artist. I was so shocked, but today I'm very proud of myself. At that time, I was not disabled. I was young, I was fresh. You know, most a poacher is being, and the policemen are at your back, and the abalone is on your back, and you are telling yourself, you are not going to get this abalone because I'm going to feed my kids. So I was running through those sand dunes until up I reached the forest so that the policemen, they don't got me. This art project has taught me so much, and the experience that I've got from art is amazing. To go to the project, have the needle and the thread, it heals you inside. It heals you through the needle and the threads because you are expressing yourself.
You must never give up, never give up, never give up, never give up. You must never, 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 ever, never, never, never give up. You must.
I love to say to the people when they ask me, are you an artist? And I said, no, I'm ambassador of art. Because I didn't go to the university to get a certificate for the art, but I got my inner certificate. That is in me. So I'm a self-taught artist. That's who I am. As I said that I've got a mixed emotion. I don't want to talk too much because I feel that there is something coming up to me. We've got the colleagues that we lost on the road. We've got our loved ones that we lost on the road. Lucky that we've got to Dr. Baker at Hamburg. During the bad time of the pandemic, HIV and AIDS, we were so lucky to have her because she saved lots of lives. As I'm standing here today, I can say I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of being a woman, standing on my 2 feet, fighting for life, feeding my kids, because the world outside is cruel.
Fast forward
Trust works hard not only in the arts but in health and education with few resources and long hours and stressful circumstances to alleviate suffering and build our community. Some bridges have been built across chasms that separate those with material security from those who each day wonder if they will have food, access to health care, who die unnecessarily without seeing a doctor. But the bridges sometimes seem very fragile and can easily collapse. For this reason, of all the works, the Keiskamma Art is for me the work that best expresses the outrage we still feel at the vast, unimaginable inequality that exists in Hamburg and surrounding villages, and indeed countless similar rural places all over South Africa. My appeal is that in addition to giving voices, names, and dignity to people otherwise outside the mainstream of life in South Africa, these works speak of this devastating, sad situation that seems to never go away, and that the works somehow help us to change our mindsets, to truly see our neighbors with love and empathy, to be willing to share our lives, our skills, our material benefits, and thus change our communities and our country, to be determined that this inequality we have created cannot be the last word.
It was 2004. People were dying. It was a disaster in Hamburg. And as we all know that at that time, our president that time was being Thabo Mbeki, and our health minister was Mama Chabalala. And the two of us, that is now Dr. Baker and government, the two of them were battling for ARVs. And guess who won? Who won the battle? Just you give me a guess. Who won the battle?
Dr. Baker.
Dr. Baker won the battle because she introduced the ARVs. And we had a battle on the one side with Umantwa Chabalala, with the African potato and the garlic. So it was that fight that we had. We had that fight. Knowing, or you people don't know, Dr. Baker that time, she just recently got a permit from the health department that she can go and work within the different communities. In the Eastern Cape, where we are coming from, that is paddy. Dr. Baker had to go and visit 119 villages and 47 clinics. And I joined her.
Yeah, this one is my grandson. And that other Mafuta one that's coming around the corner. And this one also with the pink. And the rest of them, they are all neighbors. This is the one from Cape Town, Thabo. A regte wille ene. Is this thing on? Oh, yeah?
This is what I love doing the best, when I haven't got other people waiting for me and I can just visit and see what the people are doing.
We used to leave home at 5 in the morning, going to visit those different clinics. That woman alone, no other doctors want to go and work within the rural areas, but she offered herself. And the first hospice or the first house that offered to keep the patients because why they were not being admitted at hospital, it was my house.